time for the 12th annual April Ghouls Drive-In Monsterama. 2 nights of terror, a weekend of classic drive-in movies at the Riverside Drive-In. Do you want to party? It's party time as Return of the Living Dead kicks off the Friday night zombie marathon. It's brains, brains, and more brains when toxic gas starts to reanimate the nearby cemetery into a party of the living dead. Up next, be careful what you wish for with Bob Clark's retelling of the classic Monkey's Paw story. Death Dream, presented in a newly restored 4K print from Blue Underground. See it here first on the drive-in screen. Our third feature takes us on a visit to the quiet coastal town of Point Dune. But it's not the best time for vacation, as the moon turns red with the return of the Messiah of Evil. In order to live, they will take you one by one, and no one will hear you scream. Something terrifying has happened to the children. I bet you can't guess what's next when a busload of kids drives through a cloud of nuclear waste, turning them into atomic zombies. Let's just say it takes more than a hug to make things better. The much talked about and anticipated Sci-Fi Saturday blasts off with killer clowns from outer space. It's a funhouse of terror when these outer world clowns invade the small town of Crescent Cove for a night of big top terror. Our second feature is the John Carpenter classic, Escape from New York, featuring Kurt Russell in his legendary role as Snake Plissken. It's 1997. New York City is now a maximum security prison. Breaking out is impossible, but breaking in is insane. Our third feature of the night is Star Crash, Star Wars, Italian style. A galactic adventure beyond your wildest dreams, featuring an all-star cast. It's a space adventure like no other. Our final slot of the weekend is Roger Corman's homage to every vintage sci-fi film, Galaxy of Terror. Their rescue mission to the planet Morganthus turns a planet of horrors into a galaxy of terror. Admission is $15 per person per night. Children under 12 are free. Camping is $15 per person per night. Survivors get a complimentary breakfast in the morning. April 26th and 27th, April Ghouls Drive-In Monsterama at the Riverside Drive-In in Vandergrift, PA. See you there, if you dare.
I dare. Do you dare, Sam?
I dare.
I dare.
I dare.
I dare you
Yeah.
to dare the Monsterama. I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it.
I am too. I can't wait.
Is there anything in particular that you're most excited about this time?
All of them.
That's not an answer. Nobody's happy with that answer.
Escape from New York.
Really?
Yeah, I love Escape from New York. Especially because Mike Justice has never seen it before.
I know. I just noticed that in the chat. That's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. I'm excited to see everybody more than anything.
Part of the much talked about and highly anticipated Sci-Fi Saturday night.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad everybody seemed to enjoy this movie. I love this movie. Just watching it again. It's got some really great steady cam work, and it's super suspenseful. And I'm glad everybody, if you enjoyed it, glad. If you didn't, that's okay too. I have some questions though about the movie for the chat. Do you guys think that Carradine's character knew he was a killer all along, or do you think it just finally came back, like he had like a Jekyll and Hyde thing going on? That's what I think. I think like sometimes he was a killer and sometimes he wasn't. I think every guy in this movie was insane in different ways. You know what I mean? Like Widmark was too driven. What do you call it? Michael Beck was too obsessed, and Carradine was, unfortunately, he was a killer.
Richard Skidmark, as Patrick Walsh put it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Michael Beck character especially was disturbing. Like that was a classic case of everybody thinks he's the good guy and the jilted lover and everything, and then whoa, he's got a fucking shrine to her in his house, and it's really kind of creepy. Like if it's one thing to still carry a torch for somebody, but that is just weird. So what were his motivations? Like if he could have had it his way,
Yeah,
what would that
and
have
I
looked
think
like?
she made it clear from the beginning, like, their relationship was really physical. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it was. Like, she would kick him out before the kids woke up. You know what I mean? Like, that's they made that really clear. I like at the end whenever she gets attacked in the garage, they make it a point not to show his face for the longest time, even when he's walking up to the house, like, all the stuff, like, it could be either one of them until we get that reveal. Also, like,
A
her face
jagged
being
edge moment.
yeah, and her face being bloody is, like, really intense. Like, you usually don't see, like, somebody get especially a female character, get that damaged by something, and do you know what I mean? Like, that felt, like, really real to me. It's also the beginning, like you said, is so grisly with, like, the blood spatter on the kids, and they show the bat with the matter all over it and stuff, like, wow, it's rough.
I'm
But,
glad that they didn't attempt to show any portion of the murder. They just show you the aftermath because that
I
would
think
have
that's
just been.
even, like, more, effective. You know what I mean? It's like
It was
especially
so
the way it's
creepy.
revealed with that woman just screaming, when she realizes what she's found.
There were so many references to Halloween in this movie. That was
Yeah,
one of them about how when she discovers the bodies. It's just like Laurie Strode going in there, and it's been elaborately staged by the
yeah,
killer to be whoever found them was just like, he posed them as if they were just sitting down there watching TV. And the little
yeah,
boy was even stretched out on the floor like he probably was in real life. It was just so bizarre. It reminded me of that scene in Mirrors where Kitty Wynn wakes up and her husband's next to her in bed dead.
yeah, yeah,
I thought
and,
that was
I like how as he became this new person in the hospital, like, she says at the end, and I really believe her at the end when she said, "I didn't marry" do you know what I mean, "this killer, I married somebody else, and, and he was killed by the same man that killed all these people, like, I married a good person, and he was, the father of my children." You know what I mean? Like, they,
it's hard to come to terms with that though, because
yeah,
you would have to believe that, he had no idea that
yeah.
this had ever happened. So
And I
that was
believe
just
Richard
really
Widmark when
strange.
he said, like, "I wish that this isn't what happened." Like, even though he wanted to catch him, like, I think he made his peace with, do you know what I mean? With he went and apologized to both of them. He warned her about Michael Beck's character, and then, like, just something made him turn back at the end. Hearing the kid's name on the radio made him just turn back, luckily,
He had to
and,
be the Dr. Loomis character that comes to the rescue at the end. There
yeah.
were even some shots of outside of the house where it looked just like the Wallace house, how they're looking
Yeah.
at each other's houses from across the street and they look so ominous. It really had a lot in common
The
with
little you
Halloween.
said the little kid looked like
Deliberately, I'm sure.
Tommy Doyle too, the little kid.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It was a Halloween remix, if you will.
yeah.
Isn't that what the kids are saying these days?
It is, it's like it's a non-supernatural Halloween. The, effects too on his face when he's first in the hospital are really grisly too, before they do the surgery are pretty intense. But
Yeah.
yeah. I also like that here's why I think he didn't know, like, he wouldn't have checked himself into that mental hospital or clinic or whatever it was, because his lawyer didn't want him to do it. Do you know what I mean? His wife didn't want him to do it, and, like, I think he wanted to find out what it was all about.
I think, Frank, it was explained in the film that the good guy picked up the bad guy as a hitchhiker.
Mhm.
So they didn't really know each other. It's implied. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tracy said that too. So I'm not crazy. I did hear that.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't wanna say Michael Beck's character was the villain, but he's, like, the secondary villain of this because, like, if he potentially if he never sent that newspaper and if he never brought the old cop back, would those memories have resurfaced or would he have just progressed without them? Do you know what I mean? Like, then again, he was committing and also, was he committing crimes with the mask or was there someone else with the mask? Like, that's what I like about this. There's like a lot left up for you to write your own kind of ending.
There was somebody else with the mask
Yeah.
because that person was arrested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he also says, he goes, these were, every pervert's going to have one of those. They're all going to be copycatting. So
Like the pervert from Haunts, remember?
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Haunts mask was like that too, sort of. It was like
That's what I kind of dig about this, is like you could really interpret this movie, like I said, in however you want to for the story that you have. So I like that about it.
Oh, I was just thinking the other day about how fucking awesome Haunts is.
Oh, I know.
I wish we could do it over and over again on the show.
Oh,
It's amazing.
I was thinking about that too the other day because I was wearing my shirt and I was like, God, I love that movie so much.
That Pino Donaggio score is just beautiful. And
Yeah.
My Brit is just amazing in that role.
We could always do a commentary on that one, Bill, if you'd like to sometime.
I want to. I really do.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love that part where she says, like, I think you talk funny. She's like this supposedly this rural woman in deep South America, and she talks like a Swede.
Uncle Spooky liked the leather suit at the end. I like that he was able to keep that leather suit hidden for so long.
I know.
Yeah.
The side of him that she never saw.
No. And like, it didn't really seem like the biggest town in the world. There's somehow a gimp walking around the town, hiding in the woods of the town, and just randomly attacking women.
There's room for that in their community.
Yeah. It's
You
open-minded.
can do that.
Yeah.
You can just remember like when you were young and you thought that your small town was the world and that was all the bigger it was.
Yeah.
That was how he still thought about his town. He was like, well, I'll just go a couple streets over. They'll never know who I am over there.
No, also it's like there was no I love when the only way they could locate him was his blood type. And he's like, yeah, I'm one of like millions of people with that blood type. No fingerprints, no DNA. DNA did not exist at this point. Like, there's no catching him.
Yeah. I kept thinking that. I'm like, God, if they only had DNA, they would know right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's see, everything takes all the fun out of the world.
Yeah.
DNA ruined everything.
Now you know exactly who it is.
Eldon wants to know what was wrong with Michael Beck. We're still trying to figure that one out, Eldon. He was obsessed.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable. I'll come right out and say it.
He was broken up with her for 6 years, and she was married, had children with another man, and he still had pictures of her up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He would make a Facebook account today to be friends with her and like stalk her through Facebook.
It's not a good basis for a relationship. Like, imagine if you did form a relationship with somebody and then years later you found out that before you got together with them, they were obsessed with you and like had pictures of you all over their wall.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be that? I mean, that would freak me out. I'd be like,
well,
ew.
Also, it's kind of like he thought that scene outside the grocery store, he thought if he told her that, she was gonna be like, "Oh, you're my savior." Do you know what I mean? And like turn to him as a protector, and that completely didn't go the way he wanted it to. Because he thought, well, certainly at this point you don't believe in the husband, but then all the evidence, he is the red herring at that point. All the evidence leads to him is like, well, it totally seems like even if he's not the leather mask guy, he's certainly not a good person either.
Right. Yeah. There were multiple creeps in her orbit.
Unfortunately for her, she brought creeps.
She attracted them.
Creeps. Yeah, she attracted them.
You know,
It was the
she's
crochet.
probably,
Becca just said it was her crochet outfits that did it.
you know who she is? She probably, like, after this movie happened, she probably got some big settlement from
Yeah.
somewhere, and then she had all this money in the bank, and she started texting somebody who lived in Germany, and then had trouble with his passport and needed money to get out of there, and then he needed her to wire him $1,500 and then $10,000. She'd squander her fortune on a love trap.
Yeah. Eldon said at the beginning he wanted a normal life with her, but he didn't seem to be enough for her. I think she was still getting over her divorce, and I think she was just looking for physical uh physical relationships at that point. And I think it was like once she found a guy with, I don't know, that seemed to be stable, maybe. I don't know. Not that he was stable, but he gave the appearance of being stable. And they came together also through the circumstances of him being injured and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I can see why they fell in love.
And that was his Achilles heel, was that the idea that she might be involved with somebody else, because
Yeah.
that was what triggered the other murders, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a very complicated murderer.
Becca said she's going to take down all the pictures of you that she has in the other room, Bill. In her
Stop.
in the gift wrap room, there's a picture of Bill going. All these pictures of Bill in different poses.
Hopefully that picture of us on New Year's Eve, where
Yeah,
you're wearing
pictures of New
the
Year's
car
Eve.
shirt.
There's a pair of your suspenders, that she's
Well,
found. Yeah,
I don't want to know about it. If
some of
there's a
your mustache,
shrine.
she said. Yeah. But also he was very this movie is really a movie about like men being possessive of women and men being not able to let go of things. Though I guess,
Yeah.
is that positive for Richard Widmark's character? Because if he well, if he had not let go of things, the killer would have got away. But was he the killer anymore? And would oh, I don't know. There's a lot to think up. But
Well, he was right in the long run that this
yeah.
this guy still had the capacity to do something like this. So,
Yeah. It
who
was
knows, it
something
could.
was going to trigger him. If it wasn't him, it was going to be something else.
Well, plus everything seemed to be, it wasn't only that he was supposedly not remembering. The life that he had created for himself was exactly like the life he had before. And it was getting
Down
to
to the
that point.
same decorations for the kids' party.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it was getting to, it was, the clock was almost there again. Like, it was getting to be the perfect time for him to murder his family, because that's what he did.
It's
So,
very, I agree
even,
with Eldon. It's very the stepfather. Like he is
yeah,
just going through these same patterns. And yeah.
it's a
Wow.
Stepfather remix.
Yeah.
Well, the Stepfather is a remix of this.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, there is no show. This is sad news. No show next week. No show the week after, and no show the week after that. We'll be back the second week of May. Is when we'll be back. We're taking a little hiatus for the drive-in and some other stuff, but we're gonna be back with oh my gosh, a whole spate of great stuff. So by taking the time off, it
It's
just
just,
helps us go longer. Yeah.
yeah. So it's a brief hiatus, but we will be back in
Yeah.
May. And
And
I know that we'll see some of you anyway at the
yeah.
Super Drive-In Monsterama April Ghouls.
Yeah. If you
So
go to the drive-in, it's kind of like a more intense version of doing the show because there's also me making drinks for you and in person, and yeah, and I us talking through the movie. You get us talking through most of the movie, so which is fun.
that's not true. We don't
Yeah.
talk through most of the movie.
No, I think it not nonstop, but I have to say the toolbox watching the toolbox murders with everybody was the best. I think one of the best times I've had watching a movie. That was a blast. So yeah, but I'm very excited for it, and excited to hang out and watch movies and experience them with everybody. Cubby's excited. What movie are you most excited for, Bill? The children?
I mean, there are so many to choose from. I've never seen Death Dream on a big screen. I've never seen
Yeah,
Messiah of Evil on a big screen, or The Children.
yeah. I am
And
very excited about Messiah. That's going to be awesome.
Galaxy of Terror. You know how
Oh,
much I love that movie.
yeah. You know how much I love Star Crash too. So there's that too.
Yes.
Oh man,
This
what a
is the
night!
much talked about and highly anticipated sci-fi Saturday night. And I think it's going to be stellar. I
Yeah.
really do.
Oh, I'm uh, I'm very excited about everything. Honestly, you know, what I'm really excited about is the food. Is what I'm excited about. As always.
Really?
Yeah, I do enjoy the food. I will be having a foot long hot dog the first night, probably. I can't eat Nashville chicken anymore though, so it's too spicy. So I have to figure something else out.
You can't eat what?
The Nashville chicken.
Oh, right. Yeah. I love the
Yeah.
Nashville chicken.
Yeah. So
What does it
it'll
have?
be good.
Sugar on it or something? You can't
Yeah,
tell
it's got
what
like
you're putting.
sugar and pickles and hot sauce. It's got a whole bunch of stuff on it. So yeah, it'll be good. And yeah, Cubby will be eating the fries and my fingers as well. And yeah, it'll be good. I'm gonna start planning drinks probably this week. I'll be starting to plan drinks and posting them. So if you can't make it, you could watch the movies at the same time that we do, and then you can send us messages, and we'll be like, "Oh yes, we're doing this." That's what we're doing. You can like virtually live the drive-in experience that we're living, and
Right.
you'll have the drinks and stuff. It's not as much fun though.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'd be. I would do that if I couldn't make it, but yeah, it'll be good. I am looking forward to. I'm gonna do an opposite. What's an anti-rain dance? A not a dry dance for this time. So Eldon said we should do a video blog for the show. We say this every year that we're gonna do this. This is gonna be the year that we do it. We are gonna record some stuff this year. So I really feel that we are.
Right.
By saying this, I've jinxed it. But yeah. Well, let me ask
I'm
Becca
telling
Tracy's question. Tracy, how many Becca Tracy asked, how many teeth does Cubby have left? 5. He has 5 left. I like 5 is what we were told. All two the 2 front ones are all that matters, and they're damn sharp. Uh, the fangs are very powerful, and yeah, he is dangerous. Yeah, he's gonna bite that hawk that's chasing him. That hawk that circled him.
they don't know what they're getting into.
No, they'll pick him up, and it'll be like, ha. The other day we saw Bill. We were driving, and animal control was driving a raccoon. They were holding it out the window on a stick. Like, you know, they had like a collar on it, and they were driving out the window, and I was like, that's probably how Cubby was captured. Like that.
Captured.
Captured, yeah.
Like you have to keep them in a cage.
Yeah. So quarantined. Yeah, when we had our other dog, you know, we had Teen, uh, there was one time we had to put like 5 different helmets on him at the vet. And finally they said, we can't do this. And I'm like, let me just leave the room and I'll do it. And I put his you know, his Hannibal Lecter mask on, and I had to have a talk with him. I was like, buddy, look, we've been to like 3 vets that won't see us anymore. You gotta put this fucking mask on. Yeah. Yeah. Cubby's still like that. Cubby will do that too. He's
I love that your dog understood you. You can have
yeah,
that kind of conversation with your dog.
I talked to Teen a lot though, because it was him and me alone for a long time. So there were like days in a row where he was the only person I talked to. So we had long conversations. Once we were walking uh, down my old street, and there were for some reason a whole bunch of cops in the street, and I'd been maybe doing a lot of smoking weed then. And I said, if you
Really?
And we were talking to each other as I was walking. I said, if you talk back to me right now while these cops are here, it's not good. Don't talk to me now because I'll freak out in front of the cops. So let's just not do it. So
It's a good thing
anyway,
he understood you.
he did. He was like, "This is weird, but okay."
Listen, teen, I thought we understood each other.
Yeah, but he's a good dog too. He was a little less fragile than Cubby. Cubby just seems very. Cubby needs protected from hawks and eagles and all sorts of things. And Teen was just a street dog, a tough old bird, but much beloved. What are we
Speaking of
gonna
much
look at?
beloved,
Yeah,
isn't this one of your faves?
it sure is. I have the when Cult Movies was Cult Action was still in business online. They did a double disc of the American and the Italian version, which I have, and I really want to show this on the show. I love this movie. Well, Bob Kreese did or Lee Frost, I mean, did the American version and did the narration on it, and I like Echo a lot too. So yeah, it's a great movie. I like all Mondo movies, Bill. I'm pretty easy.
Here's something interesting that I found.
Whoa, what is this?
The Joys of Jezebel.
I've never heard of this. I love this art.
It's a porn film.
Yeah.
But look at this art. It's just amazing.
It's
I
almost
mean,
like Tombs of the Blind Deadish. Like that, especially that top part with the flames and the horns. I love it. It's incandescent in color. Wow.
you can actually see stills from it on IMDb.
Ooh.
This is from 1970. The synopsis says Satan lets Jezebel return to Earth to deliver the soul of a blonde virgin named Rachel by taking over her body. However, Jezebel gets more than she bargained for.
Whoa.
I think Something Weird Video put this out on VHS, and there's a clip of it on YouTube that you can watch, like a non-porn segment of the film.
Was this on that Smut Without Smut release that no, it wasn't. I'm thinking of another one that Vinegar Syndrome AGFA put out. Wow, I'm looking at the pictures online. The colors are super wild.
Intensively incandescent, Sam, in color.
Yeah. It looks like Mario Bava shot it, but like
Mm-hmm.
even wilder. Wow.
This is art. This is not porn.
No. Man.
Hardcore art.
The poster for it is really wild too.
How about these ones?
Oh. Do you remember when they played House of Dark Shadows at the drive-in? That was great.
Yes, and Night of Dark Shadows.
Yeah. Man, I really like Eye of the Cat a lot.
Me too.
Yeah. I like movies where people in wheelchairs get thrown down steps. It's another letterbox list I got to do.
The house in that movie is, or wait a minute, I think I'm confused. Shadow of the Cat is the one I'm thinking of. Eye of the Cat is different.
Yeah. Man, that poster for the ad for House of Dark Shadows makes me so happy though.
My friend John just posed an interesting question to me. He said, it's your birthday and Julia Hoffman roofies your drink. What part of the Dark Shadows world do you want to be? Do you want to be in the new mansion? Do you want to be in the old house? Or I think the other one he said, he's like, do you want to be in the Collins tomb or something like that?
Man. I want to be in one of their time traveling episodes where every single person has an analog in a different time.
Well, my choice would be the old house because I always thought that the main set of Dark Shadows looked ridiculous. It looks like a museum with nothing in it to look at. But the old house was super creepy, and it had, that old decrepit glamour. That's where I'd want to be.
Do you like the House of Dark Shadows is like 5 years of a show, like condensed to 90 minutes?
Easily condensed because the show had a glacial pace.
Yeah. Oh, we showed both of these.
All three? Oh no, not Human Vapor. We
We haven't
didn't.
shown Human Vapor. That's a movie about farts. No,
A human fart.
a human fart. Ah, Blood Mania. Wonderful. I love that Nightmare on Wax poster too.
This one was
Wow.
supposed to come second. This was the first one.
It starts at exactly 10:43. I like that they're like down to the minute.
They got this shit planned, Sam. Those people want to get home.
Yeah. What time should we be there for Blood Mania? 07:07, please.
We missed Blood Mania. We got there at 7:45.
You will not be allowed into the rodeo on Noggles Highway. Nogales? Noggles? Is it the rodeo? Who knows? Let's call them right now. See if they're there.
The Rodeo Drive-In.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. Oh.
Well, anyway, I guess we're back to this.
Oh. Blood Mania. Hey, I'll tell you what's going on the site this week, Bill.
What's that?
We are continuing the April Movie-thon. This week's themes are Amityville movies, slashers, sequels, movies with bugs, movies with bad weather habits, movies where animals attack people, and dark comedies. That will be this week's movies. As well as our friends at Visual Vengeance have nine new movies on Tubi, several of which are not even available on DVD or Blu-ray yet, including Children of Dracula, the documentary that Brett McCormick did, which is super cool. It's about people who are really believe that they're really vampires that he went out and interviewed. So I'm excited about that. Also, from this is the only thing that came in the mail from MVD Senate from Radiance Films, Shinobi, which is the Japanese movie that really started the ninja craze in Japan. It's a double disc set. Very excited about that. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to the new episode of the podcast, the new episode is Some Girls Do. And what is the other one? The two Bulldog Drummond movies from 67 and 69. The other one is Deadlier Than the Male. I love both those movies. Virginia North is in the second one, Bill. She plays a robot in it.
Volnavia herself.
She plays robot number 9. And what's crazy is both her and Joanna Lumley at the same time were shooting on Her Majesty's Secret Service at the same studio at Pinewood, and they were literally running back and forth from the sets, being in these two movies. Yeah,
that's a big idea to get used to.
Yeah, and they're really fun. It's really weird because Bulldog Drummond, who's the character that the movie's based is about, he's not really he's a pre-James Bond character. He's from the 20s. But they reinvented him. Richard Johnson, Dr. Menard from Zombie, plays him, and he was actually Ian Fleming's original pick to play James Bond. So it's kind of interesting that he ended up playing this Bond analog in these movies. There's only 2 of them, but there are like 25 other Bulldog Drummond movies. And then my tease for next Friday's episode is it's a TV series, and we've talked about it an awful lot on the show.
A tease? Is it The Night Stalker?
It's not The Night Stalker, but it's another TV series that we love, and that'll be on next week.
Oh, does the theme song go like this?
No. I can't remember the theme song actually. If I say what I was going to say, I would totally give it away. But
okay, well, don't give it away.
I'm really amazed though. The Some Girls Do episode got downloaded 365 times yesterday, which is like my highest score already. So people are listening finally. So that makes me feel good.
That's awesome.
I got 4 or 5 more episodes in the already in, and I got a couple more that I want to record some other ideas for. So if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like me to cover, though, please let me know. Blackout is the movie we just watched tonight is one of the episodes of the podcast. You can hear me talk about it even more. Whoa,
I
save your
thought this
marriage.
would get you excited.
Oh, yes, it does. Man and wife. Wow. That is amazing. This
There's like
promises a lot from this
yeah.
end. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. There's like a whole screed there.
Oh, I love it. It's how it should be.
Can you tell us about the background of this movie? Like what this movie is?
Yeah, I know Mom and Dad way more than Man and Wife. Mom and Dad is one of my favorite weird stories, weird movies that came out. But Man and Wife is it was subtitled an educational film for married adults. Um so yeah, it was directed by Matt Simber, who, you know, did a ton of other movies, as we know. And he actually brought it from overseas, and they were worried that they were going to get raided when they put it together. But it is the first triple X film to play nationwide. It cost about, they say $86,000. I don't think it cost that much. It probably cost 5 or 6,000. Um, it's 65 minutes long. The actual sex is only about 30 seconds. Um, and even then, the guy's having trouble keeping it up, which is kind of amusing. But hey, there's a bunch of scenes where they show different what do you call it? Different positions. And there were phony European names used for the cast, which obviously aren't their names. But
Aw.
it was very successful, obviously, because there was nothing else that out there like that. And the court cases around it led to, some of the start of adult films being able to be shown in theaters, even though almost all these movies battled obscenity based on, depending on where they played. So you know, just depends. My favorite thing about Mom and Dad too, I would say, is that Mom and Dad was the same way. Like in some cities it was a controversy, in other cities it was a helpful educational film. And that's what I kind of like, that this sales here is like, this one is like, we want to help people to save their marriage.
Yeah.
This is about your marriage. And in other cities, I'm sure it was sold quite differently. It was sold as like, you will see a man and woman make love. Like this is, pre I Am Curious Yellow even.
Man and Wife, the movie.
Yeah. But
You will see a man and woman make love. And this is promising to save marriages.
yeah,
Like, wow, what could this movie contain that would save your marriage?
it is
That's great.
amazing to me. I think about this a lot because I'm nuts, but I'm like, I love that at one point there was an entire genre of just nudist camp movies because you could only film people nude in nudist camps in the movie. So if you wanted to have a movie with naked women, it had to be set in a nudist camp. And after a while, they're like, this is really boring for everybody. Yes, I know, but like that's all we can show for like a couple years. I am so excited to hold this in my hands, Bill.
Me too. It's not back from the printer yet.
Mm,
It hasn't come to life yet.
I am very excited for it.
And that's always the most exciting moment. It's when I go pick it up from the printer for the first time.
Yeah.
But I hope the color of the cover turns out to be somewhat like this. I
Yeah.
apologize if you're hard set on this shade of blue. You can never quite tell.
Yeah.
But this is the brand new issue of Drive-In Asylum. It's ready for purchase on the Groovy Doom Etsy shop page. And you can go to groovydoom.etsy.com. I have the crawler up here. Boom. There you go.
Yeah. Grab your issue now. And back issues too. Bill, I put up the Renato Pacelli article that I did from the last issue and did a link to buy it.
Yes.
So usually when the new issue comes out, I usually try to be a couple issues behind and post them on the site. But I always want people to buy it and actually see it with the layouts. It looks a lot cooler in print form to me. That's what I love getting an issue, because it's like I really hold myself to only viewing like 2 or 3 pages a day. Like I hate, because I could tear through the whole thing at once, and I just like to make it last when I read a new issue.
You described it as dense
Yeah,
before, and that's really a good way to describe it, because that's what takes me so long to put it together. Is I just
yeah.
keep finding like new layers to add to all of the pages. So it's worth it though. At the end, I'd rather take more time to put it together than slap it together quickly and put it out as fast as
It's
possible.
kind of like what I've tried to do with my site, and I feel the same way about Driving Asylum. It's like there aren't really anything else. There's nothing really else out there like it anymore that I can find the stuff that I want to read about. So many times we have to create it ourselves, and that's what I love about this. Is like I learn something in every issue, and I go back
Me
and
too.
read the old ones, and I use the old ones as like reference material for myself. Like I love going back and rereading older issues and what movies different people pick.
Yeah, I've learned a
So
lot. I mean, I've gotten to read all of this stuff that people submitted, and I've learned a lot about movies just by putting this together. So
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. It's been like
yeah,
we're coming up on 10 years.
yeah.
In 2025, that'll be
Wow,
10 years.
wow, that's awesome. You will have
Anyhow,
copies of this at the drive-in, I assume, to sell.
yes, I will.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. I'm looking forward to getting my issue and reading it in depth
Hopefully, if you
as a
see
whole.
us at the drive-in, make sure you come up and say hello.
Yeah,
Unless we're annoying,
yeah.
then don't come up to us.
So
We understand.
yeah, we'll be sitting in the front row and being loud probably before the movie, not during the movie though.
Never during the
Um,
movie.
Never during the movie. Enjoy the movie, but then enjoy each other in between the movies.
Right.
Yeah, stop up.
That
I'm
sounds like a
so glad we
swingers
showed these
event.
2 movies. I'm so glad we showed these movies tonight. I'm glad Becky did a great job picking.
Me too. Like I was really excited to watch Blackout because I knew I'd never
Yeah.
seen that one before,
You
and
enjoyed it though?
Yeah, I watched it earlier in the week. I just got sucked into it. It was so good. It's
Yeah.
really creepy. It's one of those movies. It doesn't take very much to be
Mhm.
creepy. There's not a lot of stock in that movie. There's not a lot stalking, I mean, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of horror in it. It's more just like suspense and tension, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I really like the scene where she's looking for the kids and she's going from door to door and the camera's just right behind her. And then finally the camera is in the closet and we see the mask with the kids wearing it. That scene was pretty cool. I
Yeah,
think that was
there were a lot of very you called that out about the steady cam.
yeah.
There were such well constructed scenes like that opening scene where she comes in and discovers the bodies. Like there's a lot of creepiness even leading up to it. It's like she's walking into a haunted house.
Yeah.
There's all this like wind blowing outside, and it's like, a
And I
creepy
like that,
day.
like, she has moments of, like, tension being released, like, when she finds where the music's playing and the music shuts off, she's like, "Ah," and then
Yeah.
she hears the TV and she goes it's almost like, "Oh, everything's normal, they're just downstairs watching TV," and she's already, like, starting a conversation with them as she comes down the steps. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, and she's gone back and it's probably even more terrifying for her because it's gone back to this normalcy, and no, it's not. Like, she's about to really hit that reveal. I love that her scream continues way over everybody find the cops being there and everything.
She was still screaming. That
Yeah.
was really her in the background of that scene. She was just
She had just broken up with Dario
horrible.
Argento, and that was her screaming.
She was screaming for real.
For real. Yeah. Yeah,
Good
it's
points.
it's a good one, and hopefully it'll come out someday. But if not, I
Yeah,
mean, I'd love to see, especially the end, like a cleaned up version of the end scenes when they're fighting in the garage, just because it would be nice to see some of this stuff cleaned up. But
that was pretty brutal.
yeah,
The final confrontation. It happened quickly, but it was kind of brutal the way she got. And he hit her with, what did he have, like a tire iron or
yeah,
something? I think
Yeah,
he hit
and
her
like
with it at least once.
and her nose like bled like quickly and a lot, like a nose really bleeds. I was like, wow, like that's rough.
I think even just getting hit him once with a tire iron would
Yeah,
be enough. Or maybe it was a baseball bat.
yeah,
That was his MO before. Wasn't there
yeah,
a baseball bat at the old scene?
yeah,
Ugh,
yeah. Ugh.
what a horrible life when you have a brand new face. See, we
Yeah.
always learn that in these movies, like, Mansion of the Doomed. You can't go looking for brand new eyes.
Nope.
Uh, Adam Age Vampire. Forget taking someone else's skin. It's not going to work.
Corruption. Don't try to fix your wife's skin by killing prostitutes.
Don't go see that movie alone if you're a woman.
You're not
'Cause
allowed, first
they
off.
they
Yeah.
won't let you in.
No,
I'm like, sorry.
no. There was literally the studio sent a special they sent Cash Flag to every theater wearing his mask, telling people not to show up. I love it. This is another thing you talk about, like you think about things. I think about they sent theaters a Cash Flag mask, and they're like, have somebody wear this and run out of the screen at some point with a knife. And they're like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have anybody do
I
that.
like to tell myself that they did it because
I would like
that's
to
just
think they did it.
that's a brilliant film marketing concept. You have to
Yeah.
admit, like what
Oh, it
because
totally is. And it was like the lowest, youngest kid on the totem pole. Do you know what I mean? Like it would they're like, okay, well, you just started here, put on this mask and just run through.
yeah, but the way they tried to integrate it into the
Oh
actual
yeah.
movie that
They
was
were
on screen.
well ahead of their time for interactive movies.
This was the future. This was virtual reality. And I liked the idea that the movie it was very demons
Yeah.
because there was the idea that the movie could be happening and then what's happening to the people on screen will suddenly be happening to you.
Yeah.
It could happen for
Yeah. Eldon said, notice how he got a career instantly after his accident. Yeah. Getting a job in real estate super easy.
Yeah.
You just go get your license.
You too can be successful like that if you just you know, well, have them put a new face on you or something.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
they
What
totally
this movie's
totally
message was very vague.
if you totally lost your face and start over again, how about a career in real estate? That's another reason why this movie is Halloween, Bill, because what's her name? Lori's dad owns Strode Real Estate, so it does have a Halloween tie-in
It
to
was
it.
a Halloween remix.
Because I have a Strode Real Estate sign at the bottom of my steps. I look at every day when I go to my office. So, can you put the keys under the mat at the old Myers house? Is he asking?
Promise.
Promise. Oh, he's just waiting inside the house, going eating a dog.
I swear there was a scene where they showed a dead dog in there. I know it's not true, but I
Yeah,
imagined that as a kid, I guess.
yeah. Just sitting there, just gnawing down on a tail, just waiting, waiting for
He
Lori.
got hungry.
Got hungry.
He
Oh,
knew how to break into a hardware store to steal a mask. He didn't know how to get food somewhere the
no,
same way.
not at all. No, he he knew how to drive a car, but he did not know how to go through the drive-through. That's what we've we've learned of Michael
Did you
Myers.
see
Oh yeah.
waiting on Michael Myers in the
Oh,
drive-through?
he's just not saying anything, and they're just waiting. And then
Where'd he get money?
yeah, who knows? He would probably just pull it, reach in, and pull somebody out, and and eat 'em.
You know how
That's
he
the
is.
Halloween that I make. It's just him getting things, him going to McDonald's, and him going to like a grocery store. It would not be still wouldn't be the worst Halloween. Yeah, I mean, did he understand the system of money? I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I was gonna start going off about how much I hate the fact that he lives in that weird cave in the last Halloween, but it's not even worth it. It's too late. Where he lives in that cave and he has like fatherly relationship with that kid. Fuck,
That was the worst.
oh my god. And they rode on a motorcycle together. It looked like for that one scene they didn't, but it looked like it. I
So,
I'm gonna make this is my next pitch for a Halloween movie. You ready, Bill?
okay.
Michael Myers goes across the country and wipes out people at Dollar Generals.
Why Dollar Generals?
He is a he hates capitalism. He's like an Antifa Michael Myers.
How does Michael Myers think his dad was able to buy that sprawling mansion in Haddonfield that had all those tunnels underneath?
Exactly. He's one of those kids that when you make him confront his views, he's like, yeah, well, yeah, and then just walks away. So he doesn't really have. He has the ideas. He's only been to college for a couple months, and he thinks he knows it all.
Michael Myers. You just need to like take in the big picture.
Yeah, he's like, I read Steppenwolf and a few other books in college, and God's dead, man. And good.
He wouldn't have been so like, angry at the world if it just learned to chill a little and see other people's point of view.
Yeah. He was a weird kid, though. He wanted to see his sister's titties,
Michael,
what are you doing?
So we're not going to be on for the next 3 weeks. So it's a little hiatus for the DIADF, but we will be back and we'll be in touch via the Facebook page. Maybe with some, I'm not promising anything. Maybe we'll post some kind of videos from there.
I think we should. I mean, Becca's going to be there. Mike's going to be there. These are people that know how to shoot things. I think maybe they should film some stuff.
Possibly. We'll see how many videographers we have there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good idea. Neon Brainiacs guys will be there. They'll be doing their podcast probably again from there.
Sean Collier
will be there. Hey, Sean's got a new Midnight Spook Show thing in Pittsburgh. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is it?
He's going to show one mystery movie on stage at the, I think the Harris downtown. And it's going to be a different movie every time, but they're going to do kind of like a spook show thing with it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk to him and see if he can maybe be on the show to kind of discuss it. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
I'd love to have him on, especially if he's got something like that going on. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And hey, Philip says hi. He said, sorry you missed the other segments. You can always watch them on YouTube. And if you go through withdrawal over the next couple weeks, guys, all the old episodes are on YouTube. Just put it on and pretend that you're back in time and you can just talk to us and type stuff and we'll.
I don't know what the rewatch value of this show is because it's live and it's as much about interaction as anything else. But I don't know. People do watch it. The numbers keep getting bigger and bigger on the old ones.
Yeah. We should just do one where we you remember on the Bob and Doug album where they had that thing where you could be on the show with them and they gave you a script to read along? We should do one of those, like a 6-minute episode, like, oh, hey, welcome to the chat. Insert your name here. Really great to see you.
So we will be back in second week in May. Don't know what the movies are going to be yet. So, we couldn't do any teaser trailers, but we'll be missing you. We'll be looking for you when it's time to join us again. In the meantime, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.